Allison. I'm the Programs Outreach and Youth Services Manager here at Monterey County Free Libraries. Thank you for joining me today for a Halloween episode of Book Chat Teens. Today I'm going to chat with you about a new book called The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. I'm just going to start by reading you the inside flap. Bears aren't the only predators in these woods. Best friends Nina and Josie spent high school as outsiders, but at least they had each other. Now with college and a 2,000-mile separation looming on the horizon, they have one last chance to be together. A 3-day hike deep into the woods of the Pisgah, it's spelled Pisgah, I don't know how to pronounce that, National Forest. Simmering tensions lead to a detour off the trail and straight into a waking nightmare, and then into something far worse, something that will test them in horrifying ways. Stephanie Perkins, the best-selling author of There's Someone Inside Your House, returns with a heart-stopping, gut-wrenching novel about friendship, survival, and navigating unmarked paths even as evil watches from the shadows. So as the flap says, this book is about two best friends, Nina and Josie, and they have just graduated from high school. They're in the summer before they are going to college. But Nina is going to be going to California for college, and Josie is going to be staying in their home state. So they're going to be separated across the country. And they haven't really discussed it with each other. They haven't talked about it a lot. So they're kind of carrying around this tension with them as they decide to go on this 3-day backpacking excursion as a nice final big hurrah before they part ways for college. Now, they both have never really been backpacking before, and so they're borrowing gear and they're very new to this experience. And there's just this really cool, creepy tension throughout the entire first half of the book that really builds. You're kind of just waiting for something to happen, but in a really good way. It had the feeling of a scary movie where you're just waiting for that jump scare and you can't figure out what's going to happen. And one of the scariest scenes to me, without going into any spoilers, is they get to the first place where they're going to camp out overnight, and in the circle of campgrounds, there is, at the far end of the campground, a yellow tent, and they can't see anybody inside the tent. They don't go up to investigate or anything, but they think that maybe it's abandoned, but they're not completely sure. And it was just really eerie and really, really suspenseful, and the author was so good at building this tension. If you've ever been out in the woods by yourself or with just one friend, whether it's during the day or at night, you know how it can get creepy really quickly. If you hear a crunch of a twig or a crackle of a leaf, you immediately think somebody might be following you. So it's really good if you are familiar with that kind of feeling. And Josie's really preoccupied, like I said, with bears that are coming. But they meet a couple of other hikers who talk about an experience where there is somebody in the woods watching hikers. And there was also a murder in the woods nearby at a different forest in real life that they are also a little bit concerned about because somebody from that excursion was never found. So there's a couple of peripheral things, and then at the heart there's just this tension between them as friends as they're figuring out how they're going to continue to be friends and what else will be coming their way. It's hard to go into too much more detail without giving away any spoilers. I will say as a trigger warning that there is sexual assault in this book, so if that is triggering for you, you might want to avoid this title. And I guess that's a tiny bit spoilery, but I won't go into too much more detail, only to say that the author does a really great job of building the tension and then really delivers on it. This was a really action-packed book. The first half was a little bit of a slow build, but full of suspense, and you're just really like tense, wondering what's going to happen. And then once the action kicks off, it just keeps rolling downhill from there as the action builds and builds and builds to the climax of the story. So that's The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. The two characters in this book are 18, so this would probably be good for upper high school students. Like I said, because some of the content as well, there is a lot of discussion about sexual assault. So probably upper high school, or if you're an adult and you want to check it out, I enjoyed it. I love reading teen books. And I'm going to check out the author's other book as well to see what that was like, because that sounded really good too. So this is a great book for the Halloween season without actually having to do directly with Halloween. There's no paranormal elements. It's all just about surviving in the woods, which can be way freaky. All right, if you have any suggestions for any books that I should check out this Halloween season, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.